What is up, YouTube? Welcome to Raw Truth number 11. I'm not even sure if I've ever done one of these, but we're going to be answering some questions. No idea what's coming at me, so we're going to get into it. Before we start, there's some crazy construction in the background because we're building something very special in our warehouse. So stay tuned for that, but in the meantime, you can listen to a beautiful jackhammer in the background over my beautiful voice. So let's go.
Okay, first question. Who helps create designs for Raw merch, and do you think of any designs yourself?
For Raw merch? It's honestly our website guy, AJ. He's the GOAT. He makes all of our t-shirts right now. He usually comes up with most of them. A few times he'll come up and ask me for some inspiration, and if I see anything I like as inspiration, I'll send it him. But for the most part, he makes it all up. We kind of choose colorways that fit with the brand, the season, whatever's going on, and then he runs with it. But between him and we have a few other designers that do my Cbums fitness merch, we got a good group of people that we've had to wean out some bad ones over time. But once people get to know your style, the shirts come out fire, and hopefully you guys have been liking the merch.
The next one, what is your current workout split?
Every time someone asks me this, I can't even remember. I just switched it, and it's hard to remember, but it's a 3-day on, 1 day off, 3-day on, 1 day off, repeat. So, holy shit, there's some dynamite over there too right now. But I'm gonna try and get this right. I got legs, like quad dominant leg workout, and I do chest with a little bit of triceps, back with a little bit of biceps, and then I rest. And then I have a shoulder day with a little bit of chest, and then I have a hamstring day with a little bit of back, and then I have an arm workout, and then I rest. And then I repeat 8-day cycle.
What's on your bucket list that you want to do very soon?
What's on my bucket list that I want to do very soon? Win a 5th Olympia.
And then, what do you do to help you make difficult decisions?
Stress about it. But no, I think the number one thing that helps me with my decisions is I have specific people in my life who I know and I trust that are very intelligent, whether it be emotional, personal stuff, business stuff, X, Y, and Z. I know people I can go to, and like I lean on them, and I've gotten good at like taking in opinions but not letting it adjust what I know is true to my heart. And it really just comes with over time making decisions, committing to them, and when you fuck up, not really sitting in the regret but just moving forward and learning from it, and then you can take in all the knowledge and just make a decision, because sometimes it's better to make a decision than sit on one. It's better to make a decision than it be the wrong one, rather than not make a decision at all. So sometimes you just gotta gun it and then learn as you go.
This one is from Janitor Joe.
Uh-oh.
Who is Chris's favorite Raw employee, and why me?
I knew it was gonna end like that. That's gotta be Janitor Joe, because if I don't, he's gonna knock me the fuck out. I don't know, we gotta have highlights from that fight or something. But he just knocked some guy out over the weekend, so Janitor Joe, he can do it all. He builds, he cleans, he runs the warehouse, he fights people, knocks them out on the weekend. That is a jack of all trades.
What's the best exercise to grow your back?
Training hard. Some form of row. There's no exercise. I don't think I could never pick an exercise that's best for any body part, because it's how I don't know who to look at. Looking at all you guys. All three of you guys, yeah, including all the thousands of people in there. But no, I think whatever works best for your body and whatever allows you to put in the most intensity into your workout is going to help you grow. I don't think what works for me will work for everyone else, so you kind of got to do trial and error over the years, figure out what feels best for your body, what works best for your body, doesn't cause injury, and just run with it.
This one isn't a question. They just wanted to show you a picture of their dog.
Of their dog?
I think it's a German Shepherd, yeah.
Very cute. I've always wanted a German Shepherd, but I feel like they have a lot of energy, and I don't have enough energy to deal with that.
How do you overcome picky eating in bodybuilding?
How do I overcome picky eating? You're asking the wrong guy. I'm not a picky eater. I'll eat pretty much anything, and I'm happy eating nothing too, so it's hard. But I think when you don't eat shitty food for long enough, you honestly forget about it. Like the more you eat sugary foods, processed foods, and everything, you're more like addicted to it almost, and you crave it and you want it. But if you're constantly feeding yourself like healthy foods, you feel better, and you don't even think about it, you don't crave it because your body's not used to it. If you've never eaten sugar in your life, never eaten fast food in your life, you would never want it because you don't know what it is. So in my opinion, just eating for health and for function and to fuel your body, rather than just always thinking calories in, calories out, like getting lean, getting fat, like all this stuff, just eating what feels good for your body for like health reasons and like mental clarity and just overall feeling good, it just kind of changes your perspective a bit, makes it a lot easier.
Aw, this one's kind of serious.
Shoot.
How do I get my family to stop thinking I'm a joke for wanting to compete?
Tough question. But if you prove them wrong, then they'll have nothing to say. I've seen a lot of circumstances. My parents have always supported me, but they thought it was weird when I was competing. But when I put in the work for it, they saw how dedicated it was and how it elevated other aspects of my life. I was still in school, still competing, and I was winning shows. It was making me a better person. I was working hard and achieving something. My parents couldn't help but be proud of me. So if you actually work hard, you put effort into it, and it doesn't deter from the rest of your life, and it makes you a better person, your family can only be happy for you. And if they're still not, then it's their loss.
In your mind, what makes a great champion?
My mind, what makes a great champion? I would say a great champion is someone, I always say, who doesn't quit. Doesn't matter if you have good days or bad days. Everyone has to wake up feeling like shit some days, but if you actually get to work and you do your best no matter what, then you're a good champion. But more specifically, aside from that, I think something that elevates people from the rest is champions who lift up others. Champions who are less selfish is just thinking like, I want to be the best and fuck everyone else and all this stuff. Whereas the champions like, I want to be my best, but I also want to elevate people around me in the process, make the sport a better place, make my competitors, family, friends, community a better place, and just elevate everyone as you elevate yourself.
Real question, not a fake one. How big are them calves?
I have no idea. Next Raw YouTube, we'll pull out a measuring tape. I feel like Bon's calves are bigger than mine though. Yeah, the guy, he tore both his calves and they're still bigger than mine. It's crazy.
How does someone become a raw athlete?
It's a tough question. Whenever people ask me how to become anything, the only thing you can do is earn it. I always say, it's even like when you're asking to get a girlfriend, instead of trying to get a girl to like you, be someone that girl will like. So instead of trying to get us to sponsor you, be someone that we'd want to sponsor. Be someone who can elevate the company, bring something to us that's gonna make us better. That's what we're looking for. Aside from that, we're looking for actual good, authentic people who aren't like assholes. Because everyone we sponsor, we want to be able to hang out with them at events, go to dinners, train with, and enjoy their time rather than being a dickhead. We've said no to sponsoring some pretty high-level people who have a bad reputation of not being a good person, because we really value that. But you also have to bring value to the company, so balancing both those things is a great start.
First bodybuilding competition, try to coach yourself or get a coach?
I always say whenever someone says I want to start bodybuilding, what's the first thing I should do? I say get a coach. I think I learned so much from having a coach at the beginning that I wouldn't have known. It would have taken me years. I might have learned it over trial and error, but it would have taken a lot longer. And you can be so biased, especially in your first few shows, of not knowing what you need. Some people think they need to undereat, some people think they need to overeat, they feel flat, they feel whatever, and they kind of mess with their head a little bit because you get in your own head. So I think having a coach can help you find someone who's more knowledgeable than you so you can learn along the way and apply it to yourself in the future. But I always say starting with a coach gives you a huge head start compared to someone who doesn't want a coach.
How has bodybuilding changed your life in a way that most people don't see?
That's a good question. It's a tough one. I think bodybuilding has changed my life. A huge part of what it's changed is my gratitude for the people around me. I've always had a really good family around me, but it's brought good friends and good people who support me so much, and it showed me how much relationships help you and connection help you in life to be able to enjoy victories and success so much more when you have people who have been through the ups and downs with you. And it's really I win Olympias and go through shit with business, and when we hit new milestones, I just reflect back on how grateful I am for the people who have helped me get there and who I get to enjoy it with, and it makes life so much more special. And bodybuilding has brought so many people into my life, some of the closest people I know right now, and kind of formed some beautiful relationships and has made me a better person and made life a lot more enjoyable because we get to enjoy it together.
What's your dream pre-workout flavor for Savage?
We made them all. The first dream was blackberry lemonade, then it was 3-peat, which is a Swedish fish flavor, 4-peat now. But the Super Savage coming out is actually my dream flavor we weren't able to nail, but that one's gonna be my new favorite flavor.
What are you most proud of that you've accomplished this far?
In my life?
Yeah, this far.
Probably building my relationship with Courtney. I think that's one of the most meaningful things I've built in my life that will, I believe, last forever. And it's honestly been probably the most work. It's something I walked in, fell in love with a girl, and didn't realize how much work was going to go into actually building a trusting, loving relationship of mutually helping each other out, seeing both sides and becoming like an us rather than a you and me kind of situation. So I think building that has really made me a better person, made my life so much better, and having that connection with her has really made me just a happier, better person. And I'm proud of the amount of work we've actually put in to make it work, because it didn't just flow naturally. We had to work for it, and it creates more pride when you work for it.
What's Chris's most significant failure in becoming who he is today?
Most significant failure. Chris doesn't fail. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Never had one of those.
Sorry?
Never had one of those.
That's hard to say. I think what always comes to my mind, obviously, are Olympias, because they're huge aspects of my life. I think coming second at the Olympia, for the second time, I had a lot of reasons to be second, and trials and tribulations in my way. So it really made me realize how life is gonna always throw shit at you, and you can't let that be an excuse. You have to get to work no matter what's coming your way, and that really helped change me a lot. And a subtle failure, it was more of a mental failure, but the year after that I won the Olympia, and I had applied what I needed to learn, but I didn't enjoy the Olympia. The Olympia to me was like a dreading thing that I had just suppressed a lot of emotions, and I was just relieved that my prep was over and it was done with, and I didn't really get to enjoy the win of that, and that felt like a failure to me because I didn't feel good, whether or not I had a trophy or not. So I think I then had to go back to the drawing board again, not only work on physically being able to get through shit in life, but also mentally being able to feel it and enjoy the ups and downs so I can feel it all. So those 2 years, 2018 and 2019, were like the most pivotal years of my life, where I really set my mind on the right track of becoming the man I am today and champion I am today, and really just kind of evolved me.
I've been in therapy for the past 7 months. What do you feel like it's done for you personally?
Therapy it just gives you a new perspective of things. And there's so many things where I've come in, and I'm pretty fucking stubborn, and I will argue people against anything, and I found a good therapist who I argue. She'll argue back, and we just debate, and it teaches me to see both sides a lot clearly. And that's something that I've gotten a lot better at, and I'm proud of. Is I can be stuck in a way, but that doesn't mean that if I agree with someone else's perspective that they're right and I'm wrong. It just means two people have two different perspectives. And in this world of fucking crazy polarization and right-wing, left-wing politics and all this crazy bullshit, being able to see both sides and meet in the middle sometimes and appreciate where people come from different perceptions and just be able to see that and accept that rather than argue all the time is a huge benefit, I think. So I guess just opening my mind to different perceptions and understanding that listening to someone and agreeing with how they feel doesn't mean they're right or you're wrong. It just means people are different.
Of all business, I think that they're pretty much saying of all the businesses that you have and that you're a part of, which one is the most challenging and why?
I don't think I could pick one to be the most challenging. They all have their own challenges. When something's new, they have challenges of being a new company. When something's old, they have challenges of being an old company. And they're all at different stages. So I can't really pick one, to be honest. They're all very similar. So I think it's constant challenges that kind of come and grow, but they're all good challenges. So I can't really pick one.
Was school a goal for yourself during your teenage years, or was bodybuilding your first dream?
School was definitely a goal. Bodybuilding was like a plan C. It wasn't even a plan. I did bodybuilding as a hobby, and it doesn't mean I didn't put effort into it because I tried really hard, but I never thought my life would rely on bodybuilding. And my parents always pushed me, just education first, because they're old school like that. It was a little more important in the past generation. My parents honestly still tell me to this day, you can still go back to school and get your degree, because I dropped out in my second or third year. But no, education was always number one for me. I wanted to be like a teacher or a physiotherapist or something like that. I was all over the place. I was in health sciences at school, and I just was going to finish that and take life on after that. Didn't really have a long-term plan, but when bodybuilding came in and it started to present opportunities to create a future for me, I just really dove in and made everything I could of it.
When was your first show and did you win?
Yeah, my first show was in 2014 in Sudbury, Ontario, and it was like a level 1 Canadian show, and I actually won junior bodybuilding and men's overall open bodybuilding in the same show, first time ever. And the cool fun fact is my sister was in that show, and she won the women's figure overall trophy too. So we came home with like all the trophies from our family, so it was a really cool show. But that's definitely the thing that like got the bug in me, you know. Like I always loved bodybuilding and I loved training, but after like coming off a big victory like that in your first show, I'm like, fuck it, this is for me. Time to go balls to the wall.
Looking back on your life, what is something that you wish you didn't take for granted?
Just because this is on my mind, there's probably a lot of things, but because it's on my mind right now, and I just in the last 2.5 years moved to the US, I took for granted how much I appreciated being close to my family. Like I really miss my parents now, and my sister's been out of the country for a while too, and I haven't seen her in a few months, and it really makes me just like miss when I could just like drive an hour. My parents were an hour away, but driving an hour to see them on the weekend or hang out with them, I really sometimes was like, I'm busy, I'm tired, and didn't do it. But now that I'm like a 4-hour flight away in another country, I'm like, fuck, you're such an idiot. You should have gone to see them every weekend, every other day. Like just gotten a lot more quality time with them. So probably the number one thing that I took for granted, but it also has at least taught me that now that I know it's a huge important priority of mine. And when they do come visit me or I visit them now, we're more emphasizing on how the importance of the quality time we have together rather than thinking I'll see them next week. I don't see them very often. So I've been prioritizing that in my life a little more.
Okay, last one. One mental tip that helped you get to where you are today.
Don't suppress your emotion. It comes back tenfold when you do. I think that was the fucking king of that for a long time. I would compartmentalize stuff, put it away, and then never really bring it back up. And there's a time and place, like if I'm 1 week out of the Olympia, something stressful comes up, I'm probably gonna shove it to the side and go win the Olympia. But on average, that's not a really good thing to do. And I realized when I've had a lot of anxiety, especially competing, social spots, social anxiety, I guess. And instead of me like fighting it and thinking like, oh, I shouldn't have this, I shouldn't feel this, like, and avoiding it, if I just like sit in it and feel it and like have a little bit more empathy towards myself of like understanding that I'm human and it's okay that this is going on rather than trying to fight it, it actually feels a lot less big and doesn't come back with vengeance down the road in another future time after I've like buried it down somewhere. So I think really just kind of accepting my emotions, not suppressing them, having empathy for the fact that I have them because I'm human and I'm never going to be a robot, just kind of, they let you flow through your body a lot more. And that little mental change and just perception shift of the feelings I have has really helped me a lot. All right. That's a wrap on this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this shit in the background wasn't too loud, but that's raw truth number 11. We'll catch you guys in the next one.